All right, everybody, looks like we are ready to go live here. It says we still have 5 minutes according to the stream here. I guess we're getting started at 12:05. That gives me a minute to get everything set up, check the audio balance. I think we're going to do that by just playing a couple minutes of my video from earlier this week about Matt Fuhr. We've stayed in touch. I'm sure we'll be crossing paths at industry conferences and other events at some point. Hang in there, everyone.
Sounds good
It's
on
rough
my
out
end.
there, but it will get better. It's time
I
to
think
turn
this
the
should be good.
page
We'll
on
see.
2025. Seriously. Have a very safe, fun, and prosperous 2026.
Welcome,
Love,
Hunter.
Matt.
Welcome, everybody else.
So, while this confirms a lot that I'd already suspected, hearing it from his mouth directly just takes the level of outrage up another notch. I'm going to focus mostly on just this one sentence. The rest of it was just kind of disingenuous corporate boilerplate. This is a really fun video. People mostly agreed. I had some people say, why are you being so mean, etc. Okay, now I'm going to check on my end to see what this sounds like. I think the audio balance is good. That's one thing that I haven't really finessed yet as a content creator. Like, I have, like 4 different sliders and then the actual button on my microphone to put the audio at various different levels. And I don't know how people as streamers just like manage to make their audio be at the perfect balance when they're doing reaction content, etc. I haven't quite figured that one out yet. Thank you, Lost. Yeah, let's head back over to that for a minute while we wait for them. Occasionally, I'm generally a chill guy, but this really
Occasionally,
tells us
I
a
get
lot
pissed
about
off.
where this guy's mind was at, and honestly, why ESO has suffered terribly over the last few years. As I covered in a recent video, ESO makes around $200 million a year. It has around 3 million monthly players. It is what most people would consider a successful and healthy game. But anyone that has been involved in ESO over the last few years can say with confidence that it does not play like a popular and successful game. And why is that? Well, it increasingly looks like the reason is this guy. I just really feel like it was a big mistake to say this, but he did. And so now we get to analyze it. Again. Hey, thanks, Nikki. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like I honestly pulled some punches there. Like, what I did is I avoided calling him fat directly. I compared him to both Cartman and a whale, but I didn't actually say the dude was fat. And that only matters to me, not because like I hate fat people, but it just kind of shows like, when you're morbidly obese like that, your priorities, you're probably focusing more on food than you are on your job. And yeah, like some people are getting at me like saying like, how do you know that it's his fault and everything? It's like, well, it's publicly available information. He took half the staff. And how do we know that? Well, ZOS, throughout the years, it's fluctuated, of course, but they've only had around 400 staff at ZOS. And there were numerous statements throughout Blackbird's development that they had 200 people on it. Okay, so yeah, you took 200 people. That means there's salaries, right? So also various other kinds of expenses, like, so say, ESO is making $200 million a year, which it does consistently. 100 million of that was going to Blackbird. So over the course of 7 years, that's conservatively $500 to $700 million that was invested in it, and half the ZOS staff. So thank you. I also feel like I could have gone further there, and I didn't. But what is all this stuff they have? New event zone, the night market. Werewolf refresh, new stories, new experimental content, new ways to earn free rewards, new trial, Dragon Knight class refresh, Sheogorath, Thieves Guild, Overland difficulty updates, earn back bar XP. But what I'm not seeing, I'm seeing new stories, but I'm starting to get the feeling that they're not going to be coming out with a new zone this year. That is, all right, well, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7. And I'll just trust you guys to tell me if the audio is too loud on my end or their end, if you can't hear them. Here we go. This is still just a banger song. I fucking love the main theme here. Dun, 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 dun. All right, welcome everybody. We're going to see what they have to say.
Hi everyone, and welcome to
They're actually in the studio.
Jess and I are here from the ESO community.
They're not just on their webcams at home. Oh, okay, already a good start.
Sharing those plans with you right now. We mentioned this last year, but we are officially shifting away from chapters and
How's
DLCs
the audio, guys? Can you hear them okay?
More accessible through seasons. As part of this, we're going to talk through the vision
I feel like
of
I
what
should raise it up a little bit.
How it delivers varied and sometimes experimental content, and how we plan to co-create this new era of ESO with all of you. During the stream, we'll show you a roadmap of 2026 and give a glimpse of other long-term initiatives that we're working on. And we'll also share details about Season 0 and reveal 2 brand new in-game features that are going to allow you to earn all sorts of in-game rewards.
Today, you're also going to hear about how we've refocused our internal
teams. Oh, and by the way, I'd recommend
to deliver
watching this on Twitch too to get your free stuff.
We're identifying pain points, prioritizing most requested
features,
Hunter. And even auditing combat, just to name a few things.
Auditing combat?
The journey begins in our next update and will continue long into the future. Throughout today's stream, we'll also share with you how we're going to continue to level up our dialogue
immediately
with
impressed.
You, including some specific follow-ups, such as
this seems pre-recorded, but at least
in
they're
chat at the
there.
end of this stream to share
using
your
real
thoughts
cameras
with us about everything you'll hear about today.
So
they're not just sitting at home with their dogs.
A lot today. But have no fear, we will have plenty of deep dives and blogs and additional live streams to talk through everything in a lot more detail.
Yeah, this is not a live stream. This is pre-recorded.
Also,
for sure.
A lot of what we are talking about today will be available on our test server next week.
So we recommend everyone get comfy. We have a lot to cover today.
I'm comfy. I got my
coffee.
And
we're going to get things kicked off by introducing our special guests from the dev
sparkling
team.
Water.
We have Nick Giacomini, Game Director for ESO, and Susan Kath, Executive Producer for ESO. We formally introduced both in their current roles last year, and you might have seen them around in live
this is the first time we're seeing Nick.
And interviews since
Nick
then.
looks like an absolute turbo nerd.
ESO
I love it.
And seasoned game devs.
Susan needs to go.
So welcome both.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Yes, agreed. Very excited to be
Nick
here.
Nick is the epitome of a turbo nerd.
One last thing
I'm loving
before we
this.
Get started, which is that, as Jess said, we have a lot to get through today. And one of the things that we're going to be talking about is transparency in our feedback loop and telling you guys things that we maybe haven't historically
always told you. And how I'm desperately
told
hoping not to lose my job this year.
One of those things that I'm going to talk to you about is the fact that we currently have about 47,000 cameras on
Welcome,
us
Perk.
To do all of this.
You have 3 cameras.
Jess and Gina have a big old stack of notes.
We have about 5,000 pages of notes here.
So much to tell you about today. And Nick and I have
just
monitors in front of us to remind us of all of the things that we need to tell you today. So all of that is to say that if it sometimes looks like we are reading things, that's because we have so much stuff we have to remember that we probably are.
And we want to get it right.
Transparency, yes, and we
just
want to
walk
get it
away.
all right.
Susan Kath, just
Thanks
walk
for having
away.
Us.
We want to make sure we don't forget anything, especially the really exciting stuff, right? All right, so
Nick owns a Narhu body
we
pillow,
reveal
dude.
what is to come. We
But
feel
that's
like
the kind
it's
of person we
important to
need
just
involved
briefly
with
talk
this.
about how the past has informed the future. So Nick, we'll start things off with you. Let's talk a little bit about ESO up until this point. What have we learned over the years with subscriptions and chapters and what have you, and how are we looking to evolve?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
ESO, we're coming up on 12 years in just a few months, which is
Ooh, he's calling it
it's pretty
ESO.
crazy. It's
Straight
pretty
up,
wild.
bro. That's the
And when I
OG
look back at
pronunciation.
ESO's history, it's full of a lot of resilience and transformation.
I'm gonna start calling it ESO again.
Over those 12 years, we made a lot of innovative decisions when we needed to. Like one Tamriel, Homestead, introduction of chapters, and so on. Right, they were the right decisions at the time for building the game's foundation.
Some people like the sound of their voice too much.
They show that we're capable of making big fundamental changes when we need to. And
I can just tell by looking at Susan Kath that she would just be insufferable to work with.
We've heard
just constant anxiety and pain.
That the game has become more predictable than
Welcome, Eric.
And too formulaic. And
yeah,
frankly,
too many
we think
women.
that we can make the game
sure.
more rewarding and exciting. And
change things up.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. And part of that is because the chapter model was limiting. It took 18 months, longer than that, in order to do. It was all hands on deck to support. And that intensity and lead time just didn't really leave that much room to react to player feedback, address longstanding issues. We saw this past year as a transition year, and while we learned a lot, we knew that we needed greater change. So we're going to be doing more this year. Like you said, we want to create ESO with the community. It's something that players have been asking us to do for a really long time, right? To pause and work on addressing pain points and building the future of ESO together. This is the beginning of a major shift, just like One Tamriel was a decade ago, where we're going to be making major changes just in a completely different way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when we were talking internally about the future of ESO, one of the founding pillars of conversations was we gotta call it ESO from now on. Something internally we were calling the dev community feedback loop.
It's ESO.
So we know that we've always incorporated player feedback in the dev process, but we know that we could have greater transparency and just be better about following up.
We didn't have time to
react
to player feedback. Definitely wasn't because
like
of
Nick
Blackbird.
Was saying, the chapter model that we had been following for the past
few years.
What happened
to ESO's
the whole timeline was like
ESO,
this speeding train that we couldn't really stop, and it really did restrict our ability to just be more flexible.
You mean the music?
But I think with Seasons, that's really going to introduce an opportunity to
part
allow
of this whole
us to
switching
listen
to seasons
and
thing.
react a lot more to community feedback in a much better way. So what does this look like for all
We
of
can
you?
hope, Gina.
It means earlier visibility into the things that we're working on. It means engaging with you earlier in the process and sharing the results of your input on dev efforts, all of which we know that you've been asking for a really long time.
Exactly. So with Seasons, every team at ZOS, including leadership, like Susan and Nick, consider player engagement and trust to be the foundation upon which ESO's future is built. You'll see this in different forms as we evolve
They've never
our
reacted to
approach
feedback
and
where they
explore
actually
what works
change.
best for us and for you. It may take shape in the way of earlier and more frequent
the disingenuous
first look and community
vibe this
Q&A
woman
live
gives off
streams, articles and video
is
content,
hurting me
or
physically.
early polls, Reddit AMAs, or feedback and
She
preference
reminds
surveys.
me of like those high school administrators.
We recognize that
who
actions
were
do
like
speak
after
louder
me
than words, though,
just for being
and
too
we've
much of a
already
Chad.
begun laying the groundwork for some of the dev community feedback loop efforts with things like the Guild Summit we held early last year.
I'm worried about
some of the
your violent
efforts
behavior
you're going
in
to hear
class.
about today.
Yep.
And the long-term
Rising
class
straight
identity,
up.
vision, goals, and roadmap we shared last December. We'll continue to expand and evolve based on your feedback.
Huh, that's
So
weird,
later in the
Eric.
show,
I haven't
you'll also hear
logged
more
into
about our
ESO
community
today.
collaboration and next steps as we develop ESO together. All of this resulted
shows a
in the
picture
big
of a
changes
pier.
we're going to be talking about
Dude,
and
it's
sharing with
ESO.
all of you today. So Nick and Susan,
Team
let's
ESO.
hop right into what's coming to ESO.
Absolutely. Well, we're happy to welcome you to our new content model, Seasons.
This is my alt
with
here,
Seasons,
guys.
updates and content will still arrive quarterly, but we're moving away from that predictable templated release cadence that players are familiar with, that featured zone, dungeons, and so on. We're still going to be telling incredible stories and exploring new areas of Tamriel and beyond. But the delivery will be different. Each season may look completely different. This will give us the flexibility to make our game more exciting and invest in addressing longstanding pain points, right? Add
Dude, he
features
is
and
the ultra
improvements players
chud.
have been asking for, and update and iterate
We
on
need
the
a
core
chud in
game
charge,
rather than
dude.
always just chasing something brand new. Key difference is variety and choice. We want to be building what's important to you. players, and we believe that this new model is
Eric, I think they're actually doing this in the studio.
Speaking of big changes,
I know it's weird.
Now is a good point for us to talk about one of the first big changes that we're going to be introducing.
7 degrees.
We've always charged for most of the new content and features because they were part of the whole chapter model.
Okay, wait, this is important. This is important.
We felt like ultimately that this created barriers to play.
Yes.
Where depending on whether you owned a chapter or not, depending on whether you could play with your friends.
Are you saying seasons are going to be free?
So many versions and DLCs on sale at any given time.
Wait, for real?
It could actually get pretty confusing to try and sort out what you needed to buy to play with your friends.
Yep.
Okay, one of the biggest questions. Spit it out, woman. Absolutely. Is it going to be free?
So we're going to change that. Starting with season 0, all new content and features are all going to be available for free for anyone who owns ESO or who plays via Xbox Game Pass or PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, this is a really exciting change. So it's going to include if we do any new zones or any new stories or new systems that we release.
Exactly.
Yes.
To be specific,
yes,
there will still be some paid content, and we're going to talk a little bit about that later.
God,
but in general, the things that were rolled out as part of chapters, those will just be game updates from now on.
Oh my God, yes.
And speaking of
yes,
game updates, this is also probably a good time to point out that as part of all of this
is probably going to be
with
backwards,
update 49 in March, we are going to go ahead and roll the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, and Arsenium into that main game as well.
Win number
this is a
1.
Huge change for ESO, and I really love that we're not just making all the new content.
I mean, you don't have to have. It's for anyone who owns ESO.
So much simpler for players to understand what to buy too. All right, now let's talk a little bit about the team's vision for how seasons are going to work in ESO. Susan,
yeah, you have to have the Game Pass or PS Plus to play anyway.
Well,
that's nuts.
For starters, I kind of hope we don't actually have typical seasons.
That's major.
That's kind of the point of all of this.
That's kind of the point of
the seasons themselves can actually be anything we want them to be in terms of content. But experimentation, variety, you're going to hear those words a lot today. Trying new things. These are the touchstones that we are building seasons on.
Yeah, but if you have it on Steam or through the launcher, it's just going to be purely free.
Mixing new
That's
systems,
nuts.
features, stories, zones, all of those things
that is huge.
Everyone knows and loves about ESO.
That is huge.
But we want to look at them through a new lens and ask ourselves about everything.
Wow.
Okay, but it's like, what if? Right? So stuff like, what if there were dragons here? Or what if you could do this content solo instead of with a group? Or what if you did this content with a group?
Did I see your dragons?
What's up in Winterhold? So all of that said, seasons are going to happen 4 times a year.
Yeah.
There will be 3 months long.
Win number 1.
And each one is going to contain a Tamriel tome and access to the Gold Coast Bazaar.
Okay, wait, what's going on here?
And one last big change as part of this, and absolutely one of those things that we said, okay, but what if about when we launch update 49 in March, we are going to move to a simultaneous release schedule with PC and consoles now releasing on the same day. Their patches, their updates, all of that going forward.
That's really cool. And I think that really kind of mirrors what exactly we're trying to do here this year with, taking a look at things that we've always done just because we've always done it that way and identifying areas where we can change things up and make things better for the community.
Simultaneous releases.
Yes. That okay, but what if? That is actually exactly how we came around to doing the simultaneous release.
Finally.
We had a few people in the team go, okay, well, actually,
what?
Can we? What if we did?
Can we just do this?
Let's do it.
Love it.
What?
So, all of that said, Nick, you want to talk about the roadmap?
I do, yes. Very exciting.
I've been waiting.
Quarterly seasons, and it's all going to come out at the same fucking time.
What if is a good way to a really good way to put it.
I have been begging for this for years.
Too predictable, and instead be exciting, different. Something that players also have been asking us a lot for is more transparency, more visibility into what's coming.
Absolutely
in the past, we've held a lot back, like until the last minute.
I guess console PTS.
We're trying to be more transparent.
That's one way of looking at it.
And we'll try to provide players with an idea of what to expect, what we're thinking. Just know that this is it's a living plan, right? And things may change, and we want that. That's part of this. We don't want to be beholden to an 18-month roadmap that we can't adjust. We want to be able to change based on feedback and what we learn. So let's talk a bit about what's coming to Tamriel.
Yeah, they're doing good so far. I absolutely agree, Hunter.
And I'm going to list these off quickly, but we're going to
Werewolf Refresh, Dragon Knight, Tamriel Tomes, Night Market,
in season
PvP
0,
progression system. We're getting like ranked PvP.
Event zone, the Night
no
Market.
way.
And that's going to be
Dude, what is the Night
a lot
Market?
more challenging than our usual content. We're also
High
going to be launching
Seas of
a whole suite of
Tamriel?
changes to improve visuals
Are we gonna be on
for
boats?
class and weapon abilities and start to provide better class identity and make more builds viable. We'll have brand new Thieves Guild content coming later this year. So, the next Thieves Guild
but it looks like we're not getting a new zone.
New stories, some new systems to experience the content
Wow,
with, like the Vault, Rumors, Favors, and Dynamic Events. Sheogorath is returning to Tamriel.
Account-wide outfit slots.
I'm personally very excited for players to experience this story.
Skill attribute respec for free in the UI?
For our in-game community.
Wait a
and
minute.
for players who prefer to take the game on
Are you seeing
solo,
this?
we have a few things coming.
Are you seeing this?
First, we're planning to launch an early version of Overland difficulty. There's a lot that we want to do here.
This
is just the first step for this highly requested feature. But again, just like we were talking about earlier, this is something we want to get to players soon and adjust based on feedback.
This is major.
Do more with it in the future. So, and we're also introducing solo dungeons later in the year, where players will get to take on some of our existing dungeons and new solo modes with
you're gonna get
rewards.
XP on your back bar.
Difficulty, we're planning to start small here, so maybe 2 or 3 dungeons to begin with.
This is
and we want to see what players think and if they want more.
That's awesome. It seems like a really good way to learn dungeons.
Yes, exactly. Like, in fact,
are we talking about public dungeons?
Things are currently in development, so it may change, but we're planning to have multiple modes, including a story mode.
Oh, cool.
So that's something that I personally experience. I know that our players have experienced where they just want to do the quest, but groups will just run ahead and
enjoy the story.
Right,
people have just been talking about this
and
recently.
also other modes for more of players who want more of a challenge. So we want to have
back
like
bar
different levels of
XP.
difficulty.
I'm an Oaken Soul user, so that means absolutely nothing to me. But
I'm super excited about this because I'm a solo player. I love playing MMOs. I like a lot of other people being around me playing, but I like to play by myself. Yep. And
we'll see about the aesthetics of the Warden.
Yes, very excited too.
Fuck me, this is huge so far.
That's going to be coming in 2026, and if players like it, then more to come.
This is so much better than just getting a new zone or a new feature.
Like there's some that's it's involving seas and ships and naval battles. Pirates, yep. We're trying things out and still figuring it out. But the team has the space to run with their best ideas here.
No,
that's something that we want. Let's see, we're investing pretty heavily in PvP this year, and we're providing many player experience improvements and addressing a lot of pain points that players have expressed.
Oh, this is
both of these. What we're going to do here for PvP.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited too.
In a bit.
This is going to bring so many people back to the game too.
Earlier, like this
is going to make my channel explode. Honestly,
hopefully allow us to work hand in hand with our desire
to
craft ESO's future with and for the community. We want to hear your thoughts and feedback early and often to help us build the Tamriel that you want to experience.
What's also really cool about this
Perk, I don't think they'd be
the dev team to kind of experiment a little.
I'll talk more about this at the end. But I don't think
participate in
I don't think they're
jams,
overpromising.
Maybe once a year or so. And I think having them have the opportunity to potentially put some of these really kind of creative and unique ideas into the game is going to be really exciting for players.
What's this ad about?
Actually, that's
stethoscopes.
One of the
get some stethoscopes.
Well, I'm not ready.
We're back to the chud.
Oh, come on, Nick! Just between us.
But that's happening. There we are actually releasing things that came out of the game
difficult
jam
to work
that
here
were
with
purely
a
like passion projects from
anyone with a penis is just in pain constantly working
and
in
we're putting them in the game, and I think there's going to be a lot more of that.
Oh, that's so exciting! I've seen some of them, and now I wonder which ones they are. That's exciting.
I have a pretty good idea.
Freaking boats. Freaking boats. Can't believe it.
So as we look to the future, we want to share what we're working on with you, like we have said much earlier and more often than we have in the past. And hopefully everything we're going through right now is a testament
to that. You did just
share
a whole lot.
And in turn, we want to get your feedback earlier and more often as well. So this means we may share things with you that range anywhere from the early conceptual phase to actively in development. things that are not yet set in stone.
Please just don't share
This
your
content
ayahuasca
could
story.
be experimental, like we've mentioned, or something we're actively developing and
It was
needs live
so
feedback on.
holistic to
So this is
reconnect
a
with the
big
Great
pivot
Mother.
for us, and while it won't happen overnight, you'll see it continue
My
to evolve
chakras
over time
realigned.
based on your feedback.
Yep, exactly. Like we want to be more transparent.
Yeah. No,
we
God,
want to
God bless Nick.
change the way that we
Dude,
engage
may the
with
power of
community,
Christ
to be more
envelop
transparent, more
and empower this
collaborative, and
man.
provide more opportunities for
He sees
player
a
input and
big, like,
feedback,
banger-ass
so that we can incorporate
crucifix.
that into our plans. So, you know,
He used to
recent
have like a giant,
surveys,
like, Orthodox
posts asking for
crucifix
feedback
on,
and
and then that'd be the only
suggestions,
thing that
showing
would
the
like
roadmap,
complete
like
this
we are
image.
today, with the farther outlook.
Free
Like those are
Nick.
just steps in that direction.
Right. So as we
Please
head
raise your
into
hand before
2026
speaking,
seasons
Nick.
and ESO's next era, all of you will play a critical role in the game's future development. So please do continue to let us
This is
know
like the
what
mom of
you'd
a
like to
school
see and hear
shooter.
from us on our official social media channels, forums, Reddit, Discord servers,
I would like to
and the
see
feedback surveys we send out.
you,
Yeah, I
Gina,
think at the
and
end of the day,
Susan
we
being
just want to
replaced.
make the
I'm
game
gonna
that
post
the
that later.
community wants to be in and enjoy.
Yes.
You know?
It is
We
a
should
game. It
hire
be fun.
Sam Hyde, Nick
Exactly.
Fuentes,
All right, now
and
let's take a closer look at what's in Season 0 specifically.
Russell Brand.
We're going to start things
They
off
can
here
be
with
in
two things
charge.
that Susan actually touched on earlier, Tamriel Tomes and the Gold Coast Bazaar. These are two brand new features launching with Season 0 that are going to allow you to earn all sorts of in-game rewards. And we will also talk about how ESO
Yeah, I
Plus
know.
evolves
Yeah, no,
in this new seasonal world.
Serenessa,
Afterwards, we're going to get
he
into
was
the
he
night
was just
market,
consuming
and a
the
whole
entire
slew
game.
of
That
quality of
fucking
life
bastard.
improvements that you are definitely going to want to hear.
He
But
just
first,
pisses me
Susan,
off.
why don't you talk to us about
No,
Tamriel Tomes?
Susan, no talk.
So
Okay,
Tamriel Tomes
fine.
is
Tell us something
our
interesting.
take on a battle pass for ESO.
Woo!
And each season is going to have a unique Tamriel Tome
We don't
that is
need to look at your
available for
face.
the duration of the fall season. Everyone will have access to
Damn.
the free
Yes,
version
there's
of
a
the season's
battle
tome, and you'll progress the tome by completing weekly and
Dude, my
seasonal
hype is about
challenges
to
and
like
earning tome
explode out of
points.
me and become its
You earn
own like
points, you
manifested
unlock pages in the
spirit
tome,
of
and
hype.
then you can use those points to choose your rewards.
It's gonna be a hype ghost
When the
flying
team
around
set
the
out
room.
to design Tamriel Tomes, we wanted to make sure that it met a few really important goals for us. First, we wanted everyone to be able to participate in it. No matter what your interests are or how you play ESO,
Multiple
challenges will
companions
cover
and
everything
dungeons. Interesting
from
thought there.
quests to trials to PvP and crafting, dungeons, and you'll have the option to
Yep, we
re-roll
called it
weekly
perk, for
challenges
real.
during the season if you aren't
I knew it.
interested in the current options that you've got on deck for that week. Nice.
Tamriel
Yeah.
Tomes.
So players will be able to re-roll on their own. Like, they
FTW.
don't have to wait for a maintenance or wait for us to do it. They can just say, I don't like these weekly challenges, and just push a button.
Yeah, exactly. Second,
Thank you,
it was
Hunter.
really important to us that this had compelling rewards.
Yeah,
The
there's
team
gonna be a
designed
battle
free
pass.
tome to include exciting rewards all season long. So in
What?
Season 0, for example, you'll be able to earn
What?
new cosmetics. There's
Wait a
brand new
minute.
armor. There
Every
are
season,
10
8K
epic weapon
seals?
styles. There's a new skill style for vigor.
And free crates.
And additionally, you're going to be able to earn 8,000 seals of endeavor, 6 crates, furnishings, trade bars, which we'll talk about in a minute.
Everyone's gonna be
and
rolling in Radiant Apexes.
even more stuff over the course of the season. And yes, I did just say
Wow.
you can earn seals of endeavor as part of Tamriel Tomes. And that's part of the big drive to cut down on complexity and confusion. We
guys
want to
are
move
awesome.
away from
Thank you.
having multiple types of challenge lists to complete
Yeah,
every single
probably
day.
Tufo,
I
but
don't know
like
about
that's
you,
fine.
I have enough to-do lists.
Dude, I don't care if
yes,
there's a paid
in
battle
my life
pass.
on a normal basis.
It's
I need
optional.
things
You
a
get
little
all
bit
the other
simpler
you
when
get
I
all the
go home and
content for
wanna
free
relax and play the
otherwise.
game. So we are going to go ahead and eliminate
not a
the daily
problem for
login
me.
rewards and the Endeavors challenge systems, but we're moving all of that into Tamriel Tomes. So you will earn Endeavor seals as part of the Tome system now. And the things that you used to encounter
Oh,
in the
wait,
daily
you're
login
not
rewards,
going
those would
to
be the
get
sorts of things
them
that are available
otherwise,
for you
though?
to select from within
But
the Tomes.
still, that's
So just
way more
streamlined.
than we
Lots
get
of
per year
rewards, still
before.
streamlined. Yeah.
Yeah. And one other thing, just building on that, is that
Is it, or is it the same?
the challenges are weekly and seasonal, as opposed to Endeavors, which we had the dailies and the weeklies. And it's like it does feel like, oh no, I have to do this today. I have to do this today. So we're hoping
so
that
they're
the weekly
replacing
nature of this is going
Endeavors.
to allow more flexibility for players.
Yeah, and just
And
kind of
they're
release some of that
only
pressure,
weekly.
Yeah.
needing
Yeah,
to
yes.
log in every
Yeah,
day.
Yes.
I
You
was,
don't wanna
I was
miss.
kind of bummed
Oh.
out if I knew I wasn't going to complete. You know, I would
Like your
do-
daily login if you're away for
Oh,
a few days or
that's-
something.
that's
You're like,
cool.
oh, I guess I'm not going to get this.
And do one of the Endeavors challenges, and
Yeah,
I'd
people
be
are gonna
like,
come
oh,
back.
cool, I did
They
that,
really
and then I'd look
will.
at the other ones and I'd be like, well, I'm not actually
If you're a completionist, that
do
feels
all
good,
of
right?
those. So yeah. So
Yeah, I
anyway,
spend
hopefully this is
spend a lot
engaging,
on ESO.
Engaging way to do all of this. We're excited.
Way more than any other game ever played.
So the last thing to note with the Tamriel Tomes is that there
Dude,
are
I want that Maroon's
premium
Dagon
upgrade
statue they have in the
available
background
for Tamriel Tomes.
Course,
And depending on what those upgrades are, they're going to unlock additional tiers of reward choices.
That's like a reasonable
there'll
price.
There'll be bonus items. There'll be additional cosmetics. There's a personality, amount, outfit styles, and more stuff that will happen there. So with both of the premium options, you will also get the ability to keep unlocking pages and rewards in a season's tome even after the season ends. Nice. So you
I like the look of these cosmetics too.
In your own timeline.
Also, one thing I do want to
wait, did they say the mounts have night and day appearances?
Any rewards
they change
for
during
in game, like the dungeon hard
depending on the time and day,
quests or what have you.
The mount
this
changes
is just going to be
appearance.
another way for everyone to earn different types of rewards by doing various activities.
Yeah.
All right. So this seems like a good time to talk about the Gold Coast Bazaar, which was the other thing that you had mentioned. This is the new in-game storefront that will allow you to unlock in-game rewards just by playing through the game. And it will also be a way to acquire older items, which is, again, something that we've seen from the community that they've been wanting for a pretty long time.
What?
Yep.
What do we get?
I mean, yeah. So Tamriel Tomes is going to offer a lot of unique rewards, like both the free and the paid tracks, but we didn't want to stop there. So yeah, we're launching the Gold Coast Bazaar alongside our first season, and it's a store.
Oh, what's it covered up? It's either $15 or $30.
Players. So just like you said,
the premium is $30.
We've introduced so many limited time cosmetics through Golden Pursuits, daily login rewards, Twitch streams, the anniversary spotlights, events, and so on. And if you missed them, it was either impossible to get them again, or we would reintroduce them unpredictably.
Getting rid of FOMO.
The Bazaar provides a consistent and reliable place for players to finally be able to claim these rewards.
Dude, I'm feeling kind of overwhelmed
we'll also have
here.
Utility items and some new, brand new items that have never been seen before in the Bazaar, and we're going to continue to add to the Bazaar over time.
You don't have to buy it.
We're planning to make some previous crates and their contents earnable.
It's completely optional. You get everything for free.
It's not going to be present in Season 0, but
except just some cosmetics.
Be in the next season or the season after that. Let's see, items are going to rotate in and out, but we're trying to avoid frustrating FOMO. Most items will be up for long durations, like the entirety of the season.
The death of FOMO in ESO. We're seeing it right here live.
You may have noticed that I keep saying earnable. So to redeem items from the Bazaar, players will need trade bars. And trade bars are primarily earned in Tamriel Tomes and also elsewhere in the game.
We've tried playing the game.
Yes, exactly. We've tried to balance this carefully with the majority of trade bars.
That's an infinity
in the free
symbol.
Track,
infinity wins.
We're
infinity
wins.
wins.
Include a small amount in the paid version as a bonus reward for players who support the game, with the remaining earned through other in-game activities. Now, some of the things we're talking about are things that you previously earned from events. Well, we're getting rid of event tickets.
This is starting.
So players
this
who
season.
Have event tickets will receive an appropriate amount of trade bars for the number of event tickets that they have.
Event tickets are being replaced with trade bars.
There's going to be no cap for how many trade bars players can have. Yep.
Whoa.
And critically, trade bars cannot be purchased for crowns. They must be earned by playing the game. So the Bazaar, it's designed to give players more options and choice over the rewards that you earn, right? There will be around 100 items in the Gold Coast Bazaar in the first season, with more coming each season.
That's great. So this calls back to players asking for more ways to earn rewards just by playing the game.
Yes, exactly.
Nick, is the change with event tickets, is that coming with Season 0?
Yes, that is coming with Season 0.
This is mainly happening just in a couple months
here. We've talked a bit about Tamriel Tomes and the Gold Coast Bazaar at this point. So ESO Plus also was a part of the holistic design when we were thinking about how to give players more choice and how they earn rewards in-game and more ways to earn through gameplay specifically. So,
wait,
Susan, can you
so you're gonna be able to earn ESO Plus, dude? I'm gonna
fucking and the Gold Coast Bazaar
like I can't take
with
this.
ESO Plus and what this means for those players.
Sure. Wait,
so
is ESO Plus gonna be grindable?
That's important. We aren't changing the price of ESO Plus, and we're not taking anything away from it.
Wait.
ESO Plus members are going to continue to have access to all of the past chapters and DLCs, but they're also going to get new benefits layered on top of the membership that already exists, starting with Season 0. So first, Plus subscribers will get a monthly grant of tome points. to spend on any of the tone rewards.
Okay.
And they're also actually going to earn tone points at an accelerated rate.
Nice.
And then beginning with this month, any ESO Plus subscribers will receive credit every month towards a free Premium Plus season upgrade. Now, once you've accumulated 12 months of being subscribed, and that's total months, you will be awarded a Premium Plus season upgrade.
You get a free battle pass every year.
Season.
So
Now,
1 out of 4 battle passes will be
coming
free
for everyone, and ESO Plus subscribers will have some extra benefits for a few of the things that Susan will talk about in just a second.
But ESO Plus is not grindable.
Let's actually get into those game improvements now, because there is a lot of stuff in here that addresses some long-standing requests and pain points, and I'm personally really excited about this stuff.
I'm
they said they're not changing
It's a lot.
the price.
Okay, so let's dig into the list.
Yeah, dude, Matt and Rich fucked this game over.
We're going to start to see updates from a new team that has been devoted to finding
It's like when the White
on
Witch
the
is defeated in Narnia and Aslan comes back and everything turns back to spring. Like, this is...
So they have been gathering these from community wish lists, from surveys, from summits, from lurking on forums, and seeing what you all are talking about. They are looking at last year's requests that we put out, for example, for top pain points, and using all of that to build a backlog of work that they can do at their time.
Yeah, this is pro-consumer, it's pro-gamer.
As we continue to build out this group's schedule of work as well. So update 49
this is
will
for the
include
players,
the first wave of all of these changes, specifically focused on reducing friction and respecting player playtime. To start with, we're going to add the ability to respec skills and attributes directly from the UI at no cost.
Nice.
We kind of thought of this as, we talk all about being experimental. Hey, why don't you guys get experimental as well?
Let players do that too.
But
so,
not sexually,
we're going to go back to the 30-day listing window for guild traders. We didn't really see a lot of effect from the change that we rolled in previously, and nobody really liked it. So we're going to go ahead and roll that back out and take it back to 30 days.
Great.
We are making outfit slots account-wide.
Aslan is back, bro.
We're adding faster rider training. We're going to allow for 3 stat increases instead of 1 at a time.
Dude, what?
And speaking of riding, we are adding a brand new mount available for gold. And we're going to move 16 mounts out of the Crown Store and put those up for gold purchase as well.
Okay.
So we are also increasing the furnishing limits on over half of our houses as part of a plan to boost furnishing limits across all of our houses.
No, you aren't.
For example, the cap on large homes is going to increase from 328 to 415.
Nice.
Oh, man.
There's going to be so much more room for activities. Susan, that's actually a very frequent question we get from the community is increasing furnishing limits so they can add more to their house. And previously, we had looked at it.
Gina, you're all right. That was a Step Brothers reference that just came out her mouth.
To do this.
So
there's going to be so much more room for activities
for some of our houses. One of the things that we looked at, in that spirit, going back to, as I said earlier, that spirit of, okay, but what if? What we looked at here was, we said, all right, well, let's try and solve this problem. We can't solve it for every single house across the board right now. There are still technical limitations related to the largest of our houses. But that doesn't mean we can't update some of the others as we go. So that's kind of how we're looking at it.
Gina, you're all right.
Let's not hold the whole
Gina,
thing.
you're all right.
If we can make
stay.
a large chunk of it better while we continue to solve the problem behind
Susan,
the scenes.
where's your Step Brothers reference?
We are also going to go ahead
Please
and
say
add
boats and
longer
hoes when we get to the boat part.
times, and we're increasing the duration across all difficulties. And for those last 2 in particular, ESO Plus subscribers will get an additional boost above and beyond what the standard value is. So
wait, what?
All in all, we're still a few months away from the update. There might be a few more things. In fact, there are probably some more things that Nick knows about that I don't actually know about yet that are going to make it into that. So we'll talk about those over the next couple of months as we lead up to updates.
God.
And then the last thing is with this group, which I'm excited about, they've got longer term stuff going on in the background as well. These are things that won't be in the next update, but the team is busy working on some bigger, longer initiatives like allowing guilds to send mail to their guild members, crossplay, and guild housing, and more.
That's exciting.
Love how you just kind of casually drop something like guild mail and then move on from it.
Gina, we have so much stuff to talk about today. Like if we weren't casual about some of them, we'd never stop talking to each other.
I suspect viewers wouldn't mind if this went for 5 or 6 hours and we just talk about everything.
Yeah, honestly, at this point.
Let's now shift over to the night market. Nick, why don't you first cover what exactly an event zone is?
Yeah. So an event zone is it's the first type of
Wait, do they say crossplay?
content, and the night market is our first one of these.
I missed that. Do they say crossplay?
The event zone is it's simple. It's limited time, highly focused, and it's designed for us to try new concepts, mechanics, and importantly, new difficulty levels. So it gives the team the space to be creative and gather feedback. The night market, it's a PvE zone. It's set in Fargrave, and it's filled with challenging encounters. We wanted to experiment with a zone designed to be genuinely difficult. So this zone is specifically geared toward experienced players in groups, but it's designed to be accessible by anyone. It's a fantastic place to try group content for the first time. You don't need a guild to have fun here, but we're hoping that it's a fun place for guilds to take on.
Yeah.
And we believe that the zone's difficulty will naturally encourage players to work together. To be clear, this is, we talked about overland difficulty earlier. This is not overland difficulty. This is
the working on
crossplay. Also doing overland difficulty later in 2026, but this zone is going to be, more difficult.
Want no Xbox people on my PlayStation
factions, and you can choose one to align with each time the zone becomes available, and there will be a competition between the factions to see who can make the most progress in the night market. Like any zone, the night market is going to have its own unique rewards, and the most notable is a brand new house that players will unlock and upgrade by progressing through the zone. I think the house is pretty cool and unique. And it's going to be the first time there's a bank that's actually included inside the home.
There's a bank in your house?
So we're planning to release also a brand new functional reward type with the event zone that we think is going to affect gameplay in an exciting way. The night market begins on April 29th and will run through mid-June, but this isn't a one-and-done event. We're planning to bring it back at least once in 2026, and if players enjoy it, we can bring it back more often in the future or potentially make it permanent. We're introducing this content to gather feedback and data on what works, and we'll take those learnings and apply them potentially to this event zone,
don't say the word learnings.
That's
not an actual word.
Come on, to ensure that we're always improving the experience.
All right, so in addition to the event zone, we also have the first wave of updates for the class and combat work we talked about in December, going live with Season 0. So, Nick, would you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes. Like we've been talking about throughout this, the health of the base game and reinvesting in existing parts of the game is really important, right?
And Everstone was removed and the game is evolving, straight up.
And another one is that we're planning to invest heavily. We are investing heavily in foundational experience of ESO.
Yeah, I don't know, Douglas. We'll have to see.
We're reviewing and improving the combat experience. This is ongoing.
Whether you have to rebuy the game on other platforms
over the course of the next few years. So this isn't just a single update.
But it's often like $5.
And
so
the responses from the class survey we shared last September and the combat and vision roadmap we released in December, those were crucial in helping us to prioritize and shape the team's work on this. What's going to be included as part of this? First is a visual refresh for all of our classes and combat skill lines. And also mechanical updates to reduce
female werewolf
and deliver a more modern feel. Now, ESO was made over 10 years ago, right? Close to 12 years at this point, and we've learned a lot since then. And newer classers have benefited from that. We want all classes to benefit from what we've learned, while still feeling unique and staying true to their core. Critically, we remain dedicated to the play your way core combat pillar. However, we recognize that with the introduction of
that was Matt Fear's retarded bullshit and fuck it.
That goal,
play your way.
Impacting class identity, pure classes, build viability, and flexibility. We're working on addressing these issues with these efforts. We want class identity.
Dude, I can tell he's just working so hard.
We want pure classes to be competitive. And we want as many builds as possible to be viable across all content. So the first major wave of this work is arriving in March, and the March update will feature the Dragon Knight class. And that will include a visual refresh for many of its abilities. It's really cool.
Wow.
To see,
no, that
how these
looks
are shaping up, and I really can't wait for players to experience them.
That looks
also making
so
adjustments
different.
to the skill lines to make them feel like a more complete kit, to make pure classes
Dude,
more
I'm losing
viable.
it.
As a bonus, you can also earn a full set of blue skill styles or Dragon Knight abilities
Oh, you can just earn it.
in Season 0. We're also, as part of the March update, including a visual refresh for the two-handed weapon skill line, and we're going to keep working on those weapon skill lines as a part
Stampede?
of this. We're also going to be
Is that the new
revamping werewolf
Stampede?
visuals. That will likely come in June, and that'll include the werewolf model. And as part of that, we're actually going to be including a female werewolf model that's going to be free, and that's something the players have been requesting
passion for sure.
years.
Oh yes.
And so we're
It's
just going to
about
keep
time.
going with this, multiple times a year. And again, feedback is an important part of this. We want to hear from players. Is this the right direction? What should we be doing differently? And that's part of this. To be clear, like, this doesn't mean that we won't make other changes to classes along the way. We do want to address outstanding issues throughout development, not just focus on one class at a time at the expense of all else. However,
I was just thinking about how I haven't played as a werewolf in a long time. I guess I'll wait till June.
Revamping them both visually and mechanically, again, to modernize them and tackle major player concerns like class identity, build viability, and flexibility. It's a different way we could go about it is to try to hit like many classes
Looks as
all
tough
at
as
once,
it's supposed
again,
to be.
again,
Yeah,
and
for
again,
sure.
and again, but taking a step back and looking at the classes, looking where we want the classes to be, again, based on feedback from players, we thought was really important to be able to do this as well as possible.
Yeah.
I think it's also important for us to touch on PvP and some things that we're doing for the PvP community.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I mentioned earlier, when we were going over the roadmap,
PvP.
We are making some pretty big investments in PvP this year. So first, we'll continue our
Not
PvP
just
Vengeance work after the March update, and we'll share learnings and a new plan
Vengeance
shortly
is
after that.
so bad.
We're going to be launching a new PvP progression system that's going to include dedicated PvP rewards, including unique cosmetics that we're planning to update regularly, and that's likely coming in June. The team's also bringing back 3-sided battlegrounds. That's again something that players have been asking for. Probably starting with the 3-sided battleground weekends to see what players think. If it's received positively, we'll make it available more often.
Yes. Why did they just get rid of it? Why didn't they just add 2v2?
We'll be addressing pain points and quality of life improvements with PvP.
Like,
just a few examples.
Why did they just take it away?
Add ways to get around Cyrodiil faster. We're going to be fixing the Alessia, Ash, and Shaman keeps to stop the issue of players slingshotting into the inner keeps, which players have understandably expressed frustration about.
I have no idea what he's
fixing
talking about
a couple of battleground maps like Reeman's Folly and Huntsman's Fortress to address spawn camping issues. And those are just a few examples. There will be more things like this over the course of the next year.
That's not as big as I was thinking.
Everything we've talked about today, all of this will be available to
the
all
PvP progression system
own
sounds
ESO,
interesting, though.
No
Sounds like
new
rigged.
chapter or DLC required. This focus on base game health, transparency, and listening to your feedback. It's not just a temporary goal. It's the foundation of our new model and the key to ESO's future.
I'm excited for the vampire rework.
But ESO is nothing. It's nothing without you, the players. And we truly believe
Thank you,
that by
Nick.
building this
Like,
game
that
with
actually
you, that we can
felt
make the next
genuine.
decade of Elder Scrolls Online the best one yet.
That felt like he really
All right, well, we
fucking
covered
felt
a
that.
lot in this show. And while we'll have web articles going up with more details shortly, we did just want to quickly summarize everything we just went through.
I don't know.
So first, seasons are coming to ESO.
I like two-team
This is going to introduce a host
battlegrounds,
of new
but I want to have the
varied
option.
and sometimes even experimental content that will be free for all ESO
Yeah,
players.
the good is coming back.
Each season will also introduce a Tamriel Tome. This is going to give you new ways to unlock in-game rewards with both paid and free options. And we're adding the Gold Coast Bazaar for even more items. Season 0 is going to kick off all of those quality of life features that we covered, in addition to the visual refresh and mechanic updates for the classes and the combat skill lines. As a reminder, the next game update will roll out March 9th on all platforms simultaneously. And moving forward, all updates and patches are also going to occur on the same day, which is really exciting for console players.
Yes, it
Season
is.
0
Thank you,
is officially
Gina.
going to kick off on April 2nd, along with the first Tamriel Tome. And that's going to be followed by the night market launching on April 29th. And remember, if you want to get a first look at Season 0 and a lot of the things we covered today, it will be available on the test server next week.
but not
So
for
your
console.
feedback on our future plans, as we've said a few times throughout today's stream, whether it's about Season 0, Update 49, or anything else from the roadmap, is very important to us. And we're eager to hear what you think about the future of
everything you say is a lie.
In chat following today's stream.
You are
if you
filled
miss it,
with
don't
emptiness.
worry, we'll share it a few different places too.
I'm sorry for you.
Let's return to this year's roadmap.
God bless this woman.
As you might have noticed, there's a lot of fun stuff listed there for this year's seasons. We can't wait to share more details with all
they're adding
of you
Greymore
during
to
our
the base
Seasons
game.
Direct this spring. For more on Season 0 specifically, we'll also have more live streams and previews between now and the season launch, including one next week, I think, right?
We will be talking with the team who is doing a lot of those quality of life features, so we can just get into more detail about a lot of those things.
So stay tuned for details on our website and social channels soon.
We want to give a huge thank you to our special guests, Nick and Susan, for joining us in this very important live stream today. Do either of you have any final words for the ESO community?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
there
you.
was quite a bit
to
about
hosting
overland
us on this
difficulty
live stream.
earlier.
Thanks, Nick, for hanging out here on the couch and talking about all this stuff.
AI is
all of us.
nuking PC gaming.
And a big
I
thank you
suppose.
to all of you.
Okay.
We're so excited to share this with you. Thank you for being a part of Tamriel for this last decade.
I'm going to step away
and
for like
more.
2 minutes, go
Thank
pee,
you.
have
Thank
like
you
half
so
a
much
cigarette,
for
and
playing,
we'll be back to
and
talk
for
about all
supporting
this.
this game that
I'll be right back,
love.
guys.
And welcome to the next decade of Elder Scrolls Online.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, ESO is changing, but we are really excited to start this journey of seasons and work together with all of you a lot more. Thanks for tuning in today.
I'm going to bring my phone outside with me so I can keep up with the chat. All right, let's talk about this. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I'm going to be putting all this together in a video here soon. I'll go over this again. I'll extract the important components and wait, hang on. There we go. And we will cover all this in more detail, but I mean, okay, let me just do this way. Yeah, I went into this not expecting very much. I think that's the way all of us felt. Okay. But I mean, so the biggest thing that sticks with me is the fact that seasonal content is going to be free. Like, this is the one thing that I was that I was hoping for. I think I said this in a recent video. I was like, what they should do is they should make all the new content free, but they should have paid battle passes that you can choose to pay for, right? There's going to be a free version of the battle pass, but they're going to have a $15 and $30 version. And you're going to be able to earn through that your Seals of Endeavor and also old items that were FOMO gate kept. There's going to be no more FOMO in ESO. It's going to be so much easier to get all the old stuff that people have been missing out on all these years. I mean, we're getting overland content way earlier than I was expecting. And we're getting naval battles this summer. We're going to be on boats. There's like that one quest. I think it's in like I think it's the Oridon quest line. I don't remember where it is, but you're like fighting off sea serpents on a boat, but that's literally it in the entire game. But we are getting naval combat. We're getting a totally unexpected rework to the werewolf. The new designs of the skills that they teased for the Dragon Knight look amazing. They look like actual like modern graphics. When they were showing that night market area, the event zone, what I kept thinking was like, this is great, but the combat looks so dated. But like by the end of this year or like next year, you know, we're going to be seeing combat that looks modern within the game. Yeah, it's just what were your highlights, guys? Like, I was happy with it, but I need to see they believe. Need to see it to believe they care about the feedback. I'm not going to lie, I was heavily debating dropping ESO Plus this year because of the lack of anything 7 degrees. My mind has changed since this stream. Very well on the first steps to making ESO. It's ESO now, guys. Nick said it ESO, and Nick is the fucking uber chud. He is the big dog. So we say what Nick says. We call it ESO now. We call it ESO now. Make ESO great again. I have lots and lots of friends, and they say to me, Mr. President, why is ESO so bad? And I just have to say, this guy, this Matt Fuhrer, total loser. Total loser. This guy, Rich Lambert, sleepy Rich. They're always just so sleepy. You can tell Nick is just dialed in on like a psychopath level. He's like American Psycho working for Zos. I said, let's just get rid of Matt. Let's just get ICE to deport him. We're going to make ESO big and beautiful like never before. Whoa. Okay. Catching up the chat again. ESO is the only game I play and play it casually. I like what I've seen on the stream. Eric, yeah, I'm pretty much the same. I mean, I play Fortnite, play Diablo every season, but did not expect anything substantial. Spirit Writer artist, yeah. Doge, I was going to drop the game. My ESO Plus ended. I think I'll keep going. Yeah. Love what I saw. Lots of extras. Other than the battle pass, it seems pretty like What's wrong with the battle pass? I'm not. Are you seriously saying that the battle pass is worse than a $50 content pass that gatekept the content? Like I'm struggling to figure out what is wrong with the like I don't think there's personally anything wrong with the battle pass. I don't get it. Make this make sense to me. How the battle pass is a bad thing. The tome system sounds great. Yeah, honestly. Lost, I agree. They didn't tell us that much about overland difficulty. I mean, yeah, they did. They said they're going to roll it out in a few different dungeons at first. There's going to be multiple different options. It's coming in April. That, I mean, what else do you want to know? I think the battle pass sounds good. Yeah, if the rewards are good and fair and it pays for the core content being free, I'm happy with that. Exactly. Exactly, Doge. Seasons are only cosmetic, so it's not a big deal. This might get me to resubscribe for sure. ESO. I'm happy about everything. Yeah, me too, Perk. Sounds promising. I thought Nick was the trophy guy. ESO Plus, so you're going to be able to get you're going to be able to get 1 out of the 4 premium battle passes per year for free. And you also get faster progression in the battle pass. And there were a couple other things. This was a fire hose of information. Like I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, Nick is the GOAT, dude. No, you're not. No, like, okay, so Seals of Endeavor are not going away. The system of earning them is changing. You're just going to keep earning them, but you're going to earn them through the battle pass now instead of through daily and weekly endeavors. And there's not going to be daily anymore. There's only going to be weekly. So you can just log in like once per week, complete your endeavors, and be done if you feel like it. No more FOMO of I have to log in every day and, go kill 5 spiders, craft 1 chicken nugget dessert extra deluxe, like go dance in Cyrodiil, or like it's going to be just all weekly. Yeah, okay, so I actually completely missed when they were talking about crossplay. My guess is that's still over a year out. We'll see. Nick is going all out to make the experience better for us. Absolutely, Doge. The next crown crates are Malmer centric, so the naval battles are a coherent progression. So how are we? I'm pretty sure that's Yokuda, because it's the mariners of Satak, and Satakal is a Yokudan god. I mean, maybe we'll get some Malmer stuff in there, but I haven't seen the leaks for that yet. I still don't love paying for ESO Plus, PlayStation Online, and probably a seasonal battle pass, but I suppose it beats the prior system. Yeah, Tofu, I mean, I feel you. But yeah, it's an improvement. That's what matters here, is it's better. Nick cares, it's obvious, absolutely. Spirit Writer Artist, no, it is not. It is not 30 times 4 or 120 per year. Why are you people acting like you have to pay for the premium battle pass? And in any case, with ESO Plus, I'm sorry, you get one of those for free. I'm not going to pay for the premium battle pass. There's absolutely no way. I mean, maybe, but I'll just use my free one once per year, and that'll be enough for me. But the point is, you can, like, okay, guys, can you comprehend this? Okay, just we're gonna do this like Barney the Dinosaur, like Teletubby style. Like, try to stick with me. All right. From now on, you can play and enjoy all the new content without buying a yearly DLC or content pass. Everything else is optional. There are no paywalls to, like, people like, I want to go do Solstice. I want to do the Writhing Wall. Sorry, it's paywalled. Not happening anymore. I think honestly, people just hear the word battle pass and like PTSD gets triggered, and they just kind of go into like the sky is falling mode. But what I think is being lost in translation here is there is a free track and there's no more paywalls. Like, how is this in any way an L? This is a dub. Like this is 100% a win. the battle pass is a huge win. I don't know. Like, if you're upset about the battle pass, you need to go get some therapy for your PTSD and move the fuck on. Like, this is. There are bad battle passes out there. This does not appear to be one of them. I'm sorry. It just really doesn't. Dude, wait. That's so funny. I hadn't read that comment from blah 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 what. He just said exactly what I was just saying. It's PTSD from EA. I mean, yeah, okay. But I mean, it's just a word, okay? Like, let's not get triggered over words here. Battle passes have a bad rap because it's usually not worth the money. That's why you're suspicious. But there's a free option. Just be suspicious. Just do the free option the first couple seasons. See how it is, and then make your decision then. Like, this is like we're acting like women or children here. Like, just eek a penis. You're like, eek a battle pass. Like come on, grow up. Unmechanized. Nice to see you, brother. They've been good at making things sound good in the reveal streams. Just can't hold my breath. I don't know. Like, the reveal stream for last year sucked. Like, Solstice, I was only hyped for because I like high elf stuff, and they totally screwed that up. But like, there was basically nothing to last year. Like, this is totally different. No, it's not $90 a year plus a sub. No, it's not. What kind of retarded logic is that? You have to pay for the premium. No, you don't. You don't have to pay anything. You can do the free track. I will admit I did not see what the premium battle pass was. My concern is ESO Plus has gone up. No, they just said, they did say, they said that the price of ESO Plus is not going up. The price is staying the same for ESO Plus. ESO Plus, I'm so sorry. 7 Degrees, I don't have an issue putting money in a game that gives me what I want and cares about its own game. Yes, exactly. So unless you're like dirt poor, okay, and you can't afford fucking food. You can't afford going to Winco and buying a block of cheese. You should not be worried about paying money on video games. So, like, you know what people pay to go play fucking golf every year? What people pay to go to Disneyland? What people pay to like make model ships and shit? Like, paying like $500 to $1,000 a year into your favorite hobby, video games, is not unreasonable or weird. And like, most people will pay like 100 or 250 or something like that. But the problem is when you're just throwing money down a hole to fund Matt Fuhrer's passion project, when he takes half the staff, half the money from ESO, and goes and invests $700 million fucking dollars, or it could be upwards of $1 billion. I don't even know, like $1 billion on a failed passion project that will now never see the light of day. While the game that is funding all of this is just being treated as a cash cow to fund his narcissistic fantasy, like, that's when there's a problem. But as long as there's like reasonable reason to believe, as long as there is evidence being shown that that money is being reinvested into the quality of our experience in the game, just pay some money. It's not like you're paying to be part of the country club. You're paying to have your yacht in a marina. It's like they're asking you to fork over 10K, 20K, 50K a year. They're not asking you to put all your kids through private school. Like, it's cheap, okay? Unless you are literally dirt poor. In which case, what the fuck are you doing sitting around playing video games? Go get a job. Like, go to the welfare office. Like, if you're that poor, you can't afford this hobby. So shut up. Like, okay. I need to jump off, catch your breakdown video. Well, thanks for being here, Taylor. Okay. No, I'm not even going to engage with this person anymore. The Dragon Knight visuals look seriously good. I've always said that if the abilities look better, most of the objections to combat would disappear. looks like they're tackling it properly. Yeah, you know, they just got to change the way, they just got to change the ability animations, and that's really all you got to do. The best part about a battle pass is if you don't like what's in it, that you can skip it without missing anything. Exactly. Like right now, the battle pass in Fortnite is total ass. It's just terrible. Like, but you can just skip it. In the last year, Fortnite has had some really banger battle passes that I've enjoyed, but I can just skip this one. Exactly, Perk. Find out next week, Lost in JP. This will bring ESO back on the map. I'm all in. Fearless, absolutely, bro. This will. This is the kind of thing where it's not just important to us as ESO customers, which on Mechanize, I totally agree. We should call ourselves customers from now on instead of. But now that it's free, maybe we're just players again. But the point is, like, this will become known throughout the entire MMO community. It will probably make waves throughout the entire gaming community, like at large. Like, this is going to bring an enormous amount of attention to ESO from former players or people who have just never played, who have looked and learned about it, and people saying, yeah, you know, it's paywalled, it's old, it's not modernized. Maybe even gone a little bit deeper in the battle in the in the rabbit hole, and they've learned, okay, so all the money is being diverted into a passion project. I'm not going to go play that, right? But now they're like, these people are gonna be like, oh, what's going on here? I'm gonna check out this game, right? This is gonna be huge. We will truly see how everything folds out as these things release. Overall, the changes sound good, Eric. Yeah, absolutely. The Sosas, I'm highly optimistic about these changes. New zones will be free from what I gathered, Kukak. I mean, we're not getting a new zone this year. That is okay. So we're not getting any new areas except this this night marketplace. So that's a big change, and it's something they didn't even address. But honestly, this is what they need to focus on instead. This is, I mean, look at how shitty Solstice was. Just terrible. Like, what is like the example? It's like you're shopping at Costco, then suddenly you're shopping at Winco, right? They both have "co" in the name, but it's a totally different experience. Solstice was terrible. I am fine if they take a year or two off from producing new zones so that the game can actually be good when new zones eventually come out. You're excited about the combat changes, Eric? Lost, it's not just a win, it's a massive one. Yeah, dude. Like, this is gonna take me a minute to process, honestly. Like, this is insane. Hobbies cost money. Blue, you've spent 20 grand on fragrances this year. Yeah, dude. I mean, whatever your hobby is, like people getting jewelry, you know what I mean? Like, shit costs money. Get the fuck over it. And in 2026, we should see the economy start to improve too. So there's just really no complaints there. Don't be surprised if the top tier rewards in the tomes are something like those 2 missing assistants. Okay, okay, yeah. Boats and hoes. The Sosa, thank you. The Sosa's Gaming, appreciate it. Yeah, so Doge Serenissima, you're right. So if you buy the battle pass, then you can just complete it at your leisure. I think that's for both the 15 and the 30 tier. The only time you have to complete it within a certain window is if you're doing the free one. So yeah, there's going to be no like, uh-oh, it's over, I got to grind, unless you're just doing the free one. And then if you have been doing the free one, but you want some more time, you can just buy it. And then you have that battle pass forever to complete whenever you want. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I think for the most part, like any actual seasonal content that's like themed will only be there for the season. But like we were just talking about, you can pay to keep the battle pass indefinitely. And it's really looking like, at least for this year, most of the seasonal content is just improvements to the base game that will then be there forever. And then maybe after we get the game into a good place, like 2027, 2028, We'll start having more just like themed seasonal content that will disappear over time, right? But for now, it's looking like it's mainly just going to be the game is going to get better and better every season. Everybody wants stuff for free, Eric. Yeah, for sure. You hope this becomes an industry standard perk? Yeah. Fix the circle at the end of Castle Thorn. I'm not familiar with that bug. Anyone concerned about no new zone this year needs to see the bigger picture. The entire gaming being much better. The entire game being much better is better than another bad zone. Exactly. I think you probably said that before I did, Doge, but 100%. This is what you've always wanted from the Elder Scrolls in general. The live stream was amazing. So much content. Absolutely, Nick. This has you excited to log in tonight. Where are they going to go over the perks of pure classing or subclassing? There is another stream next week on the 12th where I think we're getting more into that. This was mainly meant to be just an overview of everything that's coming this year. Them going back to touching up on previous zones gives an example of how they actually want to make the game better overall. Yeah, for sure. People being upset about a battle pass when they're making DLCs free and giving us access to cosmetics for free. Yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake. What is it? It's like they're saying like Gold Coast, Rothgar, Imperial City. That's all gonna be free now. I don't know which ones of those were already free, but there's gonna be a lot of old zones that are free now. I can't call it a win until I'm crossing the finish line. Yeah, sure. I mean, okay. Yeah. You make a good point on mechanized that we should see how this all pans out. But okay, so the real reason I was going to talk about this, I bookmarked this when we were during the stream. So the real reason someone was saying like, I think it might have been you, Perk, saying like they have always overpromised in these streams and underdelivered. And here is exactly why. Okay, you ready? ZOS is made up of a couple hundred developers who, for the most part, really care about their jobs and want to produce a good product. And so they've spent every year thinking, okay, here's what we want to do with the game. Here's how we want to improve it. And then they get to their finish line of the yearly announcement and they promise all this stuff. And then they have a little conversation with Matt and Rich about how, we still have the money for that. We have to work on Blackbird. We have to pour all the money into Blackbird. And I don't care about ESO. Screw ESO. Screw ESO. Blackbird #1. All your little plans. Oh, that's cute. You want to make the game better? Well, fuck you. Well, fuck you, developers at ZOS. I am taking half the money that you're making from the game that you've worked to make good, and I am putting it into my narcissistic, childish passion project. That is the reason. It's literally that simple. The reason that they have overpromised was not because ZOS is a bunch of liars who just, want people to believe they care when they don't. It's that they were doing their absolute best, like in general, overall. Like, I'm not saying there aren't some other bad apples in there, but overall, the majority of the developers were doing their absolute best, but then they were getting cock blocked by Matt Fuhrer and his fucking retarded passion projects. So they couldn't go do it. They just couldn't. It's not that they lied. Again, in the majority of cases, it's not that they lied. It's that the developers have had huge plans for this game for years. But for the last 7 years, the majority of the game's actual live service development, half the money and half the staff were being taken away for something else. So I don't know. Now that that's not a problem, I'm having trouble finding a reason to disbelieve any of this. Like, they actually have the wherewithal to pull this off now. They just couldn't before. And we didn't understand this until recently. Really, until Matt Fuhrer released that absolutely idiotic statement on, like, why did he release that? Like, I guess, like, just so we would know what was really happening. But I mean, it did not help him at all. It made him look like a total jackass. But his New Year's statement really just kind of confirmed it all. that he had been siphoning the lifeblood out of ESO to make his disgusting homunculus of egotism. And now that's not happening anymore. So I don't know. Like, I don't think I'm being naive. I don't think I'm being overly trusting. Like, I'm analyzing the situation. I'm like, damn, like, this has a shot. You know, acts of God aside, this has a genuine shot here. Yeah, Motawa, it sounds like that. It sounds like season 0 is going to be available on PTS next week. Wait, when did they mention Winterhold, Romeo? When did they actually mention Did they mention Winterhold in this stream? I didn't hear that, but maybe they did. Wait, they're doing account-wide outfit slots? Oh, for fuck's sake. That is so annoying. You go and buy outfit slots and it's only on one character. I remember I never bought outfit slots before, and I thought they were account-wide. And my sense of disgust was, like, palpable. I was like, "You guys are kidding me. That's just so idiotically greedy." Yeah, the glasses came off. I hope they make Somerset free after Greymore. It'd be easy to recommend the game to new players with Somerset, Greymore, and Ursinium, and future content free. Yeah, no, I mean, Somerset is the best DLC. Number 1, best DLC. So, yeah, that should become free next. It's fairly obvious that the $30 tier will have some superb rewards. If people buy that, they'll make more money than the old chapter model. I mean, yeah, but the point is it's optional. Like, you don't have to buy that to enjoy the content. It's just if you want some drippy cosmetics. And look, I mean, I'm already probably spending more than $30 a month on cosmetics in the game anyway. I know a lot of us are. So I'm yeah, 3-team battlegrounds are back. Absolutely. Absolutely. It just that was something that was, like, really unique about ESO's PvP, was the 3-team battlegrounds, and they just got rid of it. It's not even an option anymore. That was just one of the dumbest moves ever. Matt and the previous leadership are a cancer in the game. Now it'll be much better. Absolutely. My only wish would be that ESO Plus should get the $15 battle pass included, with an option to pay 15 more for the $30 one. So a free one that's included for ESO Plus members, and a premium beyond that. Yeah, Tofu, honestly, that would be the best. I have no argument against that. 100%. You should get the paid battle pass with ESO Plus, because honestly, I mean, so even if you're getting it in the yearly bundle like I do, 3 months of ESO Plus is like $33. So, yeah, they should just, if you have ESO Plus, they should just include the $15 battle pass with it. And then you can pay an extra 15 to get the $30 one. Yeah, I have no argument against that. So it's still kind of money grubbing and exploitative, sure. But I mean, the main point here, there are no more paywalls for new content. I'm just not sure if everyone's really, like, actually processing that. Like, no paywalls for new content. Okay? Are we all on the same page now? They did say something about Winterhold. Okay, so it's probably in the works, and maybe that is coming this year. I don't know. Maybe we'll learn more about that. That would be amazing. Doge, I think this reveal proves what you said about the devs having all these ideas to improve the game and getting shot down. The Map Führer dam has burst. This is fucking Treebeard right now. Release the river. And, you know, Matt Führer is Saruman up there in his tower. Oh man, someone who's like good at video editing for memes and shit needs to do this. And then Rich Lambert is Wormtongue. You know what I'm talking about? When Saruman and Wormtongue are up at the top of Orthanc, and they're just like watching in panic as all the water rushes into Isengard. Yeah, Microsoft is the Ents in this case. Microsoft is Treebeard there, pulling open the dam by release. Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. Or maybe like maybe Saruman, maybe Matt Fear is the dam, and Saruman and Wormtongue are Susan Cath and Gina Bruno up there, just like watching in panic. uh the battle pass will be neon wolf mounts. Yeah, it is a trivial amount of money to be upset over. I mean, have you guys bought gas recently? Do you buy food? I mean, $15, little man. Put that shit in my hand. Who smokes blunts? We smokes blunts. It's not even. It's like $11 if you buy the whole year. It's not even 15. It's 11. It's 11 a month. They did mention Winterhold. Okay. I mean, I've got to watch this again. I'm probably gonna watch this like 3 more times today, then come out with my summary tomorrow once I've like fully processed everything. I mean, it's a lot. I need to take notes and everything. Like this is. I got to think about how I'm going to produce the content here. Okay. Nova Longclaw, graphical update and no paywalls will bring this game through the next decade. Yeah. Yep. When you get off here and explore the community reaction, you're gonna have a you're gonna see a huge yay versus nay on the battle pass. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't. So the Chads versus the retards. Like, that's whatever. Whatever. You bought 40K crowns last week? Yeah, I mean, dude, I mean, this is an expensive game. Like caring about okay, it's over 3 months, right? So even if you buy the premium battle pass, it's just another $10 a month. I mean, most of us spend way more than that per month on the game already through ESO Plus, through PlayStation Plus or Xbox, and then buying crowns. I mean, this is a as per you said it perfect. This is a trivial amount of money to be upset about. Eric, it's clear they had a lot of ideas for the game and they're being held back. I'm also curious how much of this is basically a beta for some of the features in Elder Scrolls 6. No. Yeah, I'm more on your side, Doge. Like, I don't think this has anything to do with Elder Scrolls 6. I mean, because it's completely separate studios. You know, like ZeniMax Media owns both ZeniMax Online Studios and Bethesda, but they don't really talk to each other except when they have to. So I don't think that there's any development for Elder Scrolls 6 going on in ZOS. I doubt it. I doubt it. When they roll out Naryu as a companion in a $30 pass. I don't think they'll have companions in the battle pass. I mean, I think it's going to be cosmetics. As someone who's never had ESO Plus, I certainly do appreciate the importance of what they just announced. Yeah, for sure. Do you think I should break down the content by seasons? Have 3 separate videos? I mean, I like that idea, Perk. I think what I'll probably do is I will do one overarching video rehashing the stream, and then I will dive more into the details per season with subsequent videos. I'm going to have a lot of content here to cover for a while. It's really not it's not really expensive. Yeah, absolutely. It's as long as it's a fun game. Yeah. Yeah, console players have to pay to just play online. Yeah, but the point is like the people are acting like you have to pay for the battle pass. You just literally do not. Like how is this how are people thinking this? Is my question. Like just like anytime someone says you can pay for something, it's like you have to. This isn't some Jamaican guy jumping on your hood as you drive through Brooklyn, wiping it down and saying, "Give me money." Like this is you're not being held up at gunpoint. Like There's a free option. What? And it's not like you have to pay for the paid option to get through the paywall. There's no paywall. They're just gonna give you some cool looking shit. What? Like, I'm just not getting this. I'm not getting this at all. Zos and Bethesda have contact over lore stuff. Yeah, right. I mean, they have to communicate over the intellectual property. I should clarify. I mean, I knew that when I said that, but I wasn't being clear in my wording. They communicate because they're using the same intellectual property, and they communicate sometimes quite contentiously over the use of that intellectual property in ESO. What I'm saying is, like, Bethesda Game Studios would not playtest features for Elder Scrolls 6 in ESO. That they don't have that kind of communication. They don't share tools. They don't share development. They just are both working from the same IP, and so they have to agree on the usage of that IP. Yes. Good clarification. Yeah, gameplay wise, it's totally separate though. Okay, guys. I think that's it for me. Whoa, though. What the fuck? Like, wow. Like, the expectation versus the reality of this stream is just like, I feel like I'm in shock, honestly. I don't know. I'll try to get a recap out today, but I might need to just wait till tomorrow. I'm not. We'll see. I'm gonna go outside, have a cigarette, and just take a minute, think about this, drink some more coffee, and but let's pray. Lord, thank you for this reveal stream today. Thank you for removing Matt Fuhr and Rich Lambert from ZOS so that the developers could really do what they want to do. Thank you for elevating the Ultra Chud, Nick Giacomini, to the game director position. Lord, please strengthen him and protect him from the sea of witchy, narcissistic women that are surrounding him. Help him stay strong in this environment. Help him continue to deliver wins for the community. Lord, thank you for all of the incredible wins that were revealed today. Please strengthen the team at ZOS. Help them overcome obstacles so that these wins can become reality. So they aren't just hype, so they're real. Lord, please descend with your Holy Spirit and your angels upon ZOS and make ESO the game it has always been meant to be. Lord, bless my channel, everyone who watched today. Lord, as these changes explode into the game, help my channel also explode in popularity. I thank you for people saying I'm the #1 ESO content creator today. I really just want to embody that, really become that vision, be the hub where everyone comes so that we can know about the game and be empowered as players or customers, whatever you want to call it. Lord, thank you for this stream today. Thank you for ZOS and their contributions. Thank you for the incredible discussion through my community. Bless my community with providence and safety and love and just enjoyment of beauty in the game and in the real world. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Wow. All right. All right. We're done. We're done. Expect a lot more content on this from me over the near future. I'll just finish up with these last comments here. Yeah, the store's staying the same. People are acting as if gear or meta sets or content is inside the battle pass. It's fucking not. The battle pass will be cosmetics and furnishings, etc. Do you get mad when crown crates come out? Yeah, people fucking do though. They get mad that crown crates exist. They are. It is purely optional. Overall, pleased with the stream. Can't wait for my sorcerer to compete with subclassing for real. As for new companions or assistants in the tomes, I mean, yeah, maybe. You have a great day, Hunter. Thank you for being here from the beginning. You too, Lost and JP. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I doubt that they're gonna have companions in the battle pass. We'll just have to see. Anything is possible. Yep. Okay. I have a lot to think about, a lot to process here. But I could not have hoped for better. Just being perfectly honest. This so far exceeded my expectations that I'm just kind of in shock. This is the best time to be an ESO content creator or a player. Like this, I'm really thinking they're going to make this, that all that talk about it being another like a 30-year plus game. That wasn't just talk. Like they actually have a plan to do that. Wow. Okay. I will see you guys soon with new content. Bye, Doge. Bye, everyone else. Thank you for being here. Infinity wins. Infinity wins. This has just been crazy. God bless you all. Watch out for new content covering all this in more detail, but thank you for being here. God bless you all. Love you.